So what happened with WolfSpeed is actually kind of insane. I have not seen anything like this with previous stocks that went through a bankruptcy and had a restructuring plan. So in this video, I'm going to clarify exactly what happened. I have Grok here because this is where I'm getting the most accurate information when I try to look for like exactly what its current market cap is. Like for example, as you can see, Google has its current market cap as $30 million, which we know is like absolutely 100% wrong. So I'm getting all different information from everywhere else. Even the news articles aren't doing justice and kind of explaining exactly what's going on. So in this video, I'm going to try to break it down. It kind of does suck for like previous shareholders. We'll go over that, but I don't think all hope is lost because what happened after this restructuring is that the company is better positioned to hit its previous all-time high prices, and I'm going to make the case for it. And I'm going to go over some interesting Reddit posts I'm seeing of people that are finding stuff that, again, the news, the media article are not reporting on. So we're going to go over a few different things in this video. Again, I'm doing a lot of my research on Grog because the news aren't giving me like accurate information. So look at what I'm highlighting right here. So your previous shares were exchanged at a ratio of 0.008352. So what that means is like, for example, like if you had 200 shares previously, now you would have 0.00, let's go back, let me double check, 0.008352, 0.008352. You would have currently one share because again, it's not, your brokerage doesn't round up or down. So you technically have like one share. Exactly. This is why it's so confusing because we don't know exactly what's going on. And I don't think it's finalized yet because some of the other news I'm getting is saying that you might get some more shares in the future once some targets are hit. But again, so you're diluted like insanely. So like about like a good exchange rate would be like, from what I'm seeing, like if you had 140 shares, that's equal to like one share at the current price of $23, what it's trading at. So what that means is, if we go take a look at the weekly, I did the math previously, so I'm just gonna like pretty much show you right here. So you would have, the stock price would have to go all the way up to like around like $140 for you to break even from previous prices, which seems like pretty insane. It's like kind of like near the previous local all-time high, as you can see on the chart. So again, even the chart is messed up because this is not a reverse split. So let's get that out of the way. Like this is not a reverse split whatsoever. What happens during a reverse split, for example, is that you had 100 shares of a stock at $1. We're just using easy math. So your cost basis would be around like $100, right? So if there's like say a 5-to-1 reverse split, so your 100 shares would get divided by 5. Now you would have 20 shares, but the price would go up by 5. The price even on the chart would update at like say around $5. So you still have the same exact value. Your valuation of the stock would be the same exact. You still have $100 worth of stocks. The price would increase and the number of shares would go down. So that's a reverse split. So I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's a reverse split." No, like let's get that out of the way so you understand exactly what's going on. This is not a reverse split. This is just the insane stock dilution that no one really warned about. Like this is but again, this is better than if the stock just went completely bankrupt and all your shares just went poof. So the good news, the thing that is not making sense to me right now, and why I think that this stock could still potentially short squeeze, but at this point, like I don't want to like go too much into the chart. As you can see, even on the chart, we have a buy signal on the weekly for the first time in like a couple of years. So on the chart, it looks great, but the stock is still kind of risky. I don't want to go into the chart too much in this video because this isn't one of those videos where I'm trying to determine, okay, like where are the moving averages. This is just a video to update the people on exactly what happened and some of the other information I'm seeing. Like the current short float is still around 32%, which is insanely high. And this does still match with the information we're getting on Finviz. So I'm wondering, like, what happens now to all the short sellers that the stock is not going bankrupt, that is sticking on, and the price is going back up. So we know the people that are long this stock got diluted like crazy, and so like they have less shares, but the chart does look healthy again. The price is going back up. There's less shares available. So what happened during the restructuring? So if you're wondering, after the restructuring, the public float has been reduced significantly to 25.8 million shares. So again, this is very confusing. Even like I read an article saying even the CEO of the company is like, yeah, the chart looks like very confusing. It's not like really reflecting what's going on. As you can see, like, if you have shares that got reduced by like almost like 140x, like 140 shares is now just one share. But I'm wondering what's going to happen with all the short sellers. Is there going to be a squeeze? There's just less shares available to short. So what happened with the shares of the short sellers? That's kind of like what I want to like investigate. And usually like when we have a stock that's this high in short float at 32%, so 15 million shares were sold short, and that's more than the public float. So there's just a lot of insanity going on. And I kind of wonder if that was the reason for that insane like gap up in price. So but a few things you want to know, like the company, it's not like the company doesn't make any money. If you look at their finances, they are bringing in revenue of like almost $200 million, like consistently to this debt restructuring where a lot of their debt got forgiven. Again, here who really got fucked up are the shareholders, and that's what it is. That's plainly saying that's exactly what happened. The shareholders got the short end of the stick, but on the balance sheet, the company looks really healthy. The company does look really healthy now, and they are bringing in revenue. And the main thing I'm wondering is like, what's happening with the short sellers? Is a short squeeze going to get triggered? Like, are we just gonna wake up one day and then see the price at like 80, 90, and then blow past 137? Like, that's what I'm wondering right now. Like, are we going to see a short squeeze? And if someone watching this video can like direct me to where I can investigate more what's going to happen with the short sellers, and like if a short squeeze is still in play for this stock, like I want to investigate more because that's what's capturing my attention right now. Again, I'm getting all my information from Grok because the news articles are not doing it justice. So now we're going to take a look at some of the Reddit posts that are like very interesting. Like I was looking on Reddit for like more information, and this post actually caught my attention. So I'll have the whole thing on screen so you can read the whole thing, but I'll go over some of the details that caught my attention. The post title is "Confusion Causing Opportunity of a Lifetime," and pretty much everything he said in the beginning adds up. So the new total shares issued is 25 million. The old shares that were canceled is 156 million. And that's where your stocks, so if you had previously like 120 shares that were canceled, and now you issued a new share of like, say, only one share, which is one share of 25 million. And the point he's making is that the new market cap, the new valuation of the company is a lot smaller than what it was previously. And the company was worth like, so previously the company's valuation was like 3.7 billion, but they're bringing in like 200 million in revenue a quarter. So 200 times four, about like a billion of revenue in quarter. Again, like they had to restructure because there was a lot of bad management and like debt that has to be forgiven. But now the new valuation of the company based on the new shares around like 571 million, but they're still bringing in like $1 billion worth of revenue a year. And on top of that, their debt is forgiven. So this is like a brand new company with solid revenue. Their debt is forgiven. So that's what happens during bankruptcy. Like it's like a fresh start, and they're getting a fresh start. They don't have to pay back their like, or they are in a way paying back their debt through these new shares to their creditors, but like their their book when it comes to like the debt of the company, it's looking solid. It was looking really good. So I'm kind of summarizing like what he's saying. So he's saying in this post that he expects to see, this isn't my opinion. I just found this post really interesting, like a 5x increase in a matter of days. And that could be possible. That could possibly be a reason why we're seeing this massive jump in price. Again, this stock right now is very risky. It's not like the usual opportunity that I would bring you that are undervalued where we look at the technicals. I think the technicals are kind of just iffy at this point, but I thought this point was very interesting. So, like to recap, the valuation of the company is a lot lower than it was previously. They're still bringing in like around like $1 billion worth of like revenue, because I'm taking that number from like 200 times four, 200 million a quarter times four. So 800 million, but let's say $1 billion worth of revenue a year, which is significantly more than the valuation of the company. And the main thing is like they don't have any debt on their balance book right now, or like it's significantly reduced. So the company, if you're like a financial analyst and you're looking at the balance sheet of the company looks like really healthy, really good. So now we just need some good management not to like mess this company up. And I'm just wondering, like in the short term, if based on this valuation and the short sellers not being able to like cover their short position, if the price does keep going up, like what's exactly is going to happen to the price in the next coming days. So this stock got interesting again. It sucks for the previous shareholders, but that's, this is like, I haven't seen, because usually when a company goes bankrupt, it just goes bankrupt and, the your stocks disappear. But they did give you like new shares of the company, which is significantly lower. But again, looking at the chart, the price has to go up to 137 for you to break even from what your holding was previously. So from at this point making this video, the price has to go up another like, yes, unfortunately 5x, pretty significant increasing price. But so I want to bring you all this different information, the stuff I've been gathering. I want to do more investigation. Please, if someone has any information on how I can find out exactly what's going on with the short float and the short sellers, if there's any previous company that went through something similar, from my research, I haven't found anything. This is like very unique to the what's happening right now, but I want to bring you some different information. Maybe not all hope is lost yet. I think this is a great learning lesson too for everyone. So please let me know what you think. Like give me some information that I might be missing, and please make sure you're subscribed. You have your notification turned on, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.